Makossa, Mama Makossa, yo, ele mona, yo, ele mona. Mosoma Reggae Makossa Makossa Magina Bana Magila Reggae Makossa Bana Koma Nas Sembana tanga diwo umbu satanga Jesa di lambo la peña Anumuna sisiauna Yasa di lambo mwasa Ha Amuna yeye Koma Sadi kosa Bana tanga di omu satanga Jesa di lambo umba Mama Makossa, yo, ele mona, yo, ele mona, Mosoma. Makossa Reggae Naso Reggae Makossa What's up? Come pai Semana tanga diwo umbu satanga Jesa di lambo mwasa Anumuna sisi yauna Yasa di lambo mwasa Nasa Makossa Nukwa somona Aye bana yeye na rockero de bewenga kesera afto jide salamu la peña Naso Mama Makossa
Greetings, give thanks and praises massive. This is Reggae Makossa with your sister Makeda Dread. We have a very interesting show this beautiful Friday, and it's all about sustainability and what we could do on this planet, climate change, and then we're going to move into interviews with different brothers and sisters that I went to and saw and interviewed at the Heirloom Seed Festival. That's the National Heirloom Seed Expo. And then we have an interview with a Ghanaian superstar, and his name is ChaCha. And he's got some great Afro-Beat and reggae music. But first, let's get into the all-killer, not-filler, roots, rock, Reggae Makossa. I'm your sister, Makeda Dread.
Reggae Makossa with Makeda Dread.
Way. Can you feel the beat? I feel the beat. Can you feel the beat? This is the wild beat hitting you from far. San Diego. Listening to Mama Dread Makossa, Reggae Makossa. Bless up, ChaCha says so.
Makossa.
Yeah, youth man out there. It take an hour to make $10. Make sure how much you spend within an hour. Cause it's getting so hot and hard. Oh, this is our cry to you, minister. Hear it when he's crying. Stop cheating the working poor. Stop cheating him. Stop cheating the working poor. Stop cheating her. One for all, not for one. Fish for you, fish for me. As fate as fiddle, the strong must serve the weak. Oh, as feet as fiddle, the strong must serve the weak. Instead, robbing Peter to paper is the game they play. Creating suffering, victimization among the youth of today. Leaders of the world, it's time to deal with the real issues. Cries of the people, yes, you can refuse. Cries of the people, yes, you can refuse, you can reject.
Yes, I'm Makeda Dread, Makeda Makossa. I'm here with ChaCha, and we're at Atlanta Botanical Gardens, and it's so beautiful here. I mean, we're in Santa Rosa, and then we flew into Atlanta for another agricultural conference, and we were at the Heirloom Expo, and that was incredible. And what did you think about the ChaCha, the Heirloom Expo?
Well, first of all, I give thanks for life. I give thanks for everything. The Heirloom Seed Expo Festival blew my mind. I'm out of words to describe the way I feel and things I've observed. But this just shows me that we have the potential to feed the world, to grow healthy food for all, for good health and for good lifestyle. it's just mind-blowing what I've seen, and the new strategies, technologies that farmers are adopting and introducing, and processing of food and all these educational aspects. I can absorb it. I've absorbed a lot, and I wish it never ends. Yeah.
So tell us, briefly about your eco project in Ghana that the World Beat Center is involved in.
Yep, the eco project in Ghana that World Beat Center in San Diego is sponsoring. First of all, it takes a village to educate a child. So our main focus is on educating the youth to understand what food safety is about, what food security is about. Because one thing is, we don't have third eyes in our stomach to see what we consume, how it affects our organs. So our main long-term vision is healthy food for all, healthy brain, and healthy body. To introduce to the kids how to grow organic food, know what they are growing, and then know what they are eating. Because we are living in a dangerous world in this time.
Tell us about this cut that we're going to play right now on Reggae Makossa, because you're a musical star and genius. So tell us, this is with Mosaic. And you're in Ithaca right now, right?
Yeah, the album is entitled Unity is Strength. That's our fourth album. And one of my favorite songs is called Time for a Change. And yes, indeed, in this time, we need change. Nothing remains the same. It's about the situation that we are experiencing, the condition we are living in. We need to act for ourselves. We need to defend ourselves. We got to be there for ourselves and our neighborhoods and our communities. This song is full of advice, upliftment, and education that encourages positive change in a positive direction.
Run it.
Trigger eager, it's no discipline. Ooh, it takes a village to educate a child. Don't spread the rod and spoil the child. Teach the youth the pros and cons of life, so when they grow up, they can depart from it. Oh, God, fever has no medicine. Trigger eager, it's no discipline. Hear me when I say, hear me when I bow.
Reggae Makossa with Makeda Dread.
Woo, 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 woo. Ooh, way. Can you feel the beat? I feel the beat. Can you feel the beat? This is the world beat, hitting you from far. San Diego,
Listening to Mama Dread Makossa, Reggae Makossa. Bless up, ChaCha says so.
ooh, you choosing to be the leader. Who you lightning to be the assemblyman. be a leader and no drinking champagne. Be a leader and no launching campaign. To be a leader is a great responsibility. Get to make sure uptown and downtown safe. Get to make sure the towns and villages are free from misery. Get to provide safe drinking water for uptown and downtown. Cause we living in a tragedy world. Oh, well, the leaders have everything for themselves. They don't care about the other man. Holy God knows how we live day by day. Responsibility, I tell you.
We are living on this planet, don't you damn it, this is our home. Oh, politicians being bandits, doing this with so much damage, this is our home. Oh, this corporate money machine is taking a planet so pristine and draining life and stacked the green and made this life a shattered dream. Salvation is serene, but the truth it reigns supreme. Yeah, the forests and the streams and the sun and the moon and its beams. These are the things that we must hold in our heart. These are the things from which we must never grow apart. We are the believers of these heartless deceivers, but we must be the teachers of our future leaders.
Blessings and welcome back to Reggae Makossa. I hope you love that tune by ChaCha from Ghana. ChaCha, I mean, you're incredible. You can go from reggae to Afro-Beat. I love Afro-Beat. I love Fela. You open up for Femi, and that is just incredible. And you're in Ithaca doing it. You have an Afro-Beat band. Tell me how you got into Afro-Beat. Of course, you're African.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you very much, Mama Makeda. In 2010, I met with Angelo. Angelo is one of the leader of the band called Big Min Sound Machine. They play Afrobeat instrumentals, no voice, like no singer. So after I met with Angelo, we did have a conversation like, maybe we record something. And he's like, all right, I'll come and pick you up in Syracuse. By then I was living in Syracuse. So Angelo picked me up. And that is the beginning of ChaCha and the Ndo band. And then the main reason for forming ChaCha and the Ndo band is for raising funds towards our project in Ghana that is being also sponsored by World Beat Center from San Diego. Since then, we record Food for Thought. It was well accepted and well received. And as I am saying, we are in the studio recording the second album entitled Jig Body. Jig Body in Ewe means patience. That is the second album, ChaCha and the Ndo band. We are cooking right now, hot in the studio.
We're going to get into ChaCha Yes, and the new dub band. And hey, check this out, you know. We're right here in Atlanta, Georgia, ChaCha and myself alongside of the silent member, the Taurus in our group, Berenice. And here's ChaCha and the new dub band on Reggae Makossa. Boom!
Reggae Makossa with Makeda Dread.
Get up, stand up, free ourselves to free Africa. Oh, we must first free ourselves. Mentally, spiritually, earn politically. Mentally, spiritually, earn politically. The forces pulling Africa are united inside and outside Africa, pulling and pushing Africa in all direction. It's time, yes, it's time to decolonize our mind. Do we have to accept civilization as it is, or put it under rated examination to make it what it ought to be? It's time, yes, it's time. Time to rise up to the height. It's time, yes, it's time. Rise up to the height. It's time, yes, it's time. Rise up to the height. It's time, yes, it's time. Rise up to the height.
Yes, ChaCha, we got a project together, and it's like as we sit in these trees up in the canopy, it reminds me of this place that I always want to go to in Ghana. You know, they say there's this, you know, this kind of what do we call it? Just a stairway to heaven in the trees in
Canopy walk.
It's the canopy walk. That's what you call it. So as we got these projects going in Ghana, when I do go, I definitely want to go there. But also, you know, we got a project together, many projects, but one of them is we're doing a forest bathing project, and we're also doing recording from the plants itself. And so this inspire you a lot coming here?
Yeah, this inspires me a lot. Sometimes I call this project a constructive challenge. This makes you learn more about your own environment, makes you do more research about how important trees are to us and our environment, the importance that trees contribute to our daily life. So getting involved in projects like this with you, Mama Dread, I'm very happy and I can't wait. This is the same blueprint we'll be sending back home, and just educate. Now that most Africa, the desertification is spreading, we got to maintain our forest. And if there is no forest, how can we have the forest bathing? How can we have that healing from the woods? So I think this is a project in the right direction. I'm very happy to be involved in it, and I can't wait to learn more about this natural therapy.
Spoken from ChaCha, it's so important to have an African brother take this back home to the motherland and, you know, do the healing that has been ripped off by the colonial system. So this is Makeda Dread, Reggae Makossa, Mama Makeda, and ChaCha, and we're saying, you know, please heal the world.
Reggae Makossa with Makeda Dread.
the four corners of the world, I'm calling your attention. We can live as one, regardless to our color, creed, no race. Let's join hands together and sing this your song. We are United Nations, United Nations. We are United Nations. Yes, we are. We are. We are United Nations. United Nations. We are United Nations. Yes, we are. We are. Unity in strength. Yes. So it goes. Just like the 5 fingers, you see it? Different lengths, but together it makes a mighty fist. So we are on planet Earth, regardless your geographical location. One away. Yes.
Reggae Makossa with Makeda Dread.
Get up, stand up.
Reggae
Makossa.
Whoa, woo. Whoa, 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 whoa. You never know the value of what you got until you lose it. Be content with what you have. Oh, how they know it's always at last. It's time we appreciate what we have. What we have, not what we wish for. What we have. You run interference to gain you some clearance because you're not patient. Your works are adjacent. You better give thanks, yeah, for everything in the life where you are. You better give thanks, yeah, for every breath that you're drawing, yeah. If you're complacent, you stay in the basement. Your earth strong is a gift you should carry on. Keep your vision in the sight, don't crash along. I am strong. Give in thanks and count your blessings. Oh,
Makeda Dread right here with the queen of the Gullah Geechee Nation, which is my mentor in life and in the ancestors of my father, you know, the Geechees. Queen Quet, welcome to California.
Thank you, my sister. So glad for day with Hona and things like that. After we passed and the journey been across, and now we meet in the clearing. Praise God for this year.
Praise God to have such a knowledgeable, you know, African on this planet. You said you went to Guatemala. No, you went to Guadalajara and you were there, you know, as a guest of the government, you know.
Yes, the U.S. government, believe it or not, the Department of State actually took me down on a tour in Guadalajara. You now got me saying it. So that Guadalajara was this connecting point because we have the Muskogos that are part of Gullah Geechee history. So the people they call Black Seminole, when they crossed over into Mexico, became Muskogee. And so they wanted me to share our legacy as Gullah Geechees so the people in Mexico realized that they had a link back to us here as well. So it was powerful.
Like Mexicans, and that's one of our exhibits. And we definitely going to bring you to our center, and we'll start working on that right now in Mexico, you know. So, you know, you talked about the seeds, you talked about the land. Is there anything, you know, about that? You know, some of the people didn't get to hear your powerful message. And can you tell them something about, you know, some of the heirlooms that you talked about, the Benny seeds, and also how we can help your mission with the Gullah Geechee. We know right now that there's a storm happening, and that's it.
Well, a lot of people don't realize we live on islands, literally in the Atlantic Ocean, called the Sea Islands. So 100 of the people are cracking teeth like this and think like that. They ain't mean they're always from the Caribbean. A lot of people, oh, y'all from the Caribbean. No, not exactly. There's a place called the Gullah Geechee Nation from Jacksonville, North Carolina to Jacksonville, Florida, which is also a hurricane zone. So when we were here talking about heirloom seeds, that's one of the things people leave out. You can't keep heirlooms all the time because storms might come and damage them. So your seeds and your soil might lose its viability. So over the years, our Benny seeds have been threatened. Our Carolina gold rice has been threatened. Many of our squash varieties, the okra varieties, a lot of our natural herbs don't grow, or don't grow in the same islands that they used to grow, or don't grow as high or as in abundance as they used to, because we've dealt with so many hurricanes which cause inland flooding, that cause storm surge to go over there, and then we have to leave the ground, let it lie fallow, do other things, plant new crops that will replenish that soil before we can plant seeds again. So it's so important that we realize this is all attached to food security, especially as African people around the world. If we do not continue to pass these seeds down as the heirlooms that they are and value them and keep them just as safe as you would a gold chain, we ain't gonna have nothing for the children and fun in the future. Now, if you have nothing to eat, you cannot survive. So how secure can you be when you're hungry? You into reggae music, so you know a hungry man is a dangerous man. Okay, so is a hungry woman. So you know, starve the people. You want them to have something for them fun. So we have to hold on to the seeds so we can keep passing them to generation to generation. So my family has been planting the same soil since chattel enslavement on St. Helena Island, but we own the land since 1862 to today. And so our harvest season was just over before the hurricane season came in, so we don't have to rush like the North Carolinians and get the stuff out the field ahead of the storm, but we sure have to still protect the seeds. We have jars, we put away jars, we still preserve them because these things come. So all that's part of food security, and that's part of what the message is that I'm sharing as I'm out here on the Gullah Geechee Save the Sea Islands tour.
Queen Cat, I mean, incredible person. You're going to see her exhibit in San Diego. Look for her tour. And where can we go to donate?
You can definitely go to GullahGeecheeNation.com. You'll find our Save the Sea Islands tour link there. You can find us at Gullah Geechee on Twitter, at Gullah Geechee on Instagram. We're always tweeting and reposting it. If you're a Facebook person, Gullah Geechee Nation, and that presentation we just did together, Sister Makeda, is going to be on Gullah Geechee TV on YouTube, so they can watch it in its entirety. And then Hunter Chiller, just follow we, and you I know where we to be, where we to plant some more seed for the next generation for truth.
Queen of the Gullah Geechee Nation. We be jamming. Makossa. Ron from Shumi.
Hi. Yes, a unique quality about natural agriculture is that we rely on the innate power of nature to provide what is needed to grow food, grow the plants. We believe that the soil has the power to provide the best balance for the plants that are growing. And since we reintroduce those seeds, those same seeds after the harvest, into the same locations, there's a memory involved with the soil and the seed. And so there becomes this synergy that's occurring. And when you are applying these fertilizers, whether organic or not, the soil is kind of, the plants themselves are kind of relying on that year after year. But when you don't keep introducing those additives, then you have, this balance that's occurring. We also see less pest infestation in the soils because we're not feeding the soil. And the food seems to taste better. It has like a true flavor to it. And perhaps it's healthier for us, too, in the long run. And another thing, too, is that when you have these climatic challenges, such as lack of moisture or heat, there's too much heat, the root systems are much stronger because they're digging deep for those nutrients. So, the plants can handle it better. So, I don't know if I answered the question, but that's kind of in a nutshell what we do with natural agriculture. Perhaps a key ingredient is our love and gratitude for nature. So, that goes a long ways. Perhaps that's the best thing we could do for our growing.
Gratitude. So, free from soil additives, supplements, manure, fertilizer, pesticides, insecticides, fungicides. Shumi, natural agriculture. Pure soil, pure seed, and pure heart. And Ron, you definitely have a pure heart. Thank you so much. And tell us something about the Shumi rice.
Yeah, our rice is grown around Sacramento, northeast of it, about 60 miles. Scott Park Farming is growing it for us. We approached Scott because he's been a long-time organic farmer, and we thought, well, he's a good possibility for our approach, which is low tillage, where nothing is added to the soil, no amendments. And what he does is he cover crops during the off-season of growing the rice. And at the end of that cover crop, he'll put it back into the soil. And, he does a good job for us. And he's actually very excited. He did comparative studies with his organic rice growing and with natural agriculture. And there's virtually no difference. So what he saw is the fields were identical in their growth, and so he's real happy with it. So, and if you're a farmer and if you can do something without adding and having these inputs, he's all for it, and so that's a good way to go. That's what Scott does.
So we're going to be at the World Beat Center. We're going to sell Shumi natural rice, so it's incredible. It's sweet. So the brown rice, short grain, is my favorite. So again, Shumi, and they got a great natural rice. So pick it up. And this is World Beat Center, Makeda Dread, live at the National Heirloom Expo. Boom. Makossa.
Reggae Makossa with Makeda Dread.
We are. One family, we're not early. Please come together. Let the system put this as it do. We are one family, ain't no enemies. Please come together. Never let the system put this as it do. Politics and religion, fussing and fighting among ourselves. And we big clashes with earth disease. Christians and Muslims can dine on one table. Nations fight nations because of resources.
Welcome, Sophia, to our humble ethnobotany table here at the National Heirloom Expo. Sophie, we had a divine connection, with Jamaica in mind. So we were supposed to talk and be together. And, right behind me, we have a meaningful community collaboration. And that was a 4-year research with Cornell Lab of Ornithology, Urban Birding, and other community institutions, and they're about some of the things that you have condensed. So, on yours, you said, "Be the change you want to see in the world." And we're talking about, unless we have these 9 superpowers of the community, it's really hard to have a peaceful workplace.
Exactly, because most people, as we said, come to work with their wounds from their past. And if the work environment is not committed to people's personal growth as well as the profit and the bottom line, we have people that are hurting, sad, and discouraged. And this is an opportunity to see business as a vehicle for change, because people are there every day, and to create community within the workplace is critical, just as critical as climate control and all the other major issues that we have in the world. That if we can create open, authentic communities at work, we can heal what most people think is impossible. To come to work and be happy and feel that you are being acknowledged and you are being supported to be more fully who you are. And the work is not that difficult if a company is committed to the overall change in their culture. Learning to listen to one another is one of the greatest gifts we can give one another. And sometimes a company will say, well, we don't have time for this kind of stuff. We're too focused on the profit of the company. But they don't realize that by growing their people, the company will grow far better than if they're pushing people to do more and not honoring who these people are inside. So there's a lot to do in companies today. It can be
and nonprofits too.
And nonprofits and in churches, all over. People don't know how to communicate to one another. Recently, we had a guest staying with us, and at one point I used one of your statements. I think there's an elephant in the room that we're not talking about. And it was difficult to clear the energy. But when you can acknowledge that we're a flow of energy with each other, and if something's blocking it, it feels bad. So to keep the energy moving and being open and being transparent with each other, being vulnerable, and sharing our wounds with each other, that's how we heal. And work is such a great opportunity for awakening. And when people do, the bottom line soars. And people love to come to work, and they don't rush out the door at 5 o'clock. They're committed to making the company be prosperous because they're being fed spiritually.
That's incredible, because it's a challenge to awaken at your workplace.
Yes, well, what it takes is a leader, a business owner, whoever they may be, who understands that the business is more than a paycheck for people. It's an opportunity to grow. So it really starts at the top. If that person is open and realizes we have an opportunity here in our workplace to help people heal and grow.
It's incredible, 9 superpowers. Did you like our chart too?
I love your chart because it's exactly what this is about. These tools help live the mission. People will not engage in the mission of the company if they're not acknowledged, if they don't feel a part of it. So everything you have here is exactly understanding trust and transparency, to be able to say to one another and be vulnerable with one another when you're in pain, and it may be something that's happening in your personal life, but the community can support that if we know that something is a problem in your personal life. It's like we can't separate the personal from the professional, really.
That's true. Let me see if there's one more on here. You can come around here, Jesse. Thank you.
Well, give credit and compensate. Companies, a lot of times, I worked for this very large insurance company, and the founder of the company used to go around to all the departments, and he'd say, the best is yet to come. And when he would leave, they would say, yes, for you. But what about us? And when we asked people, what do they need to make their work better and easier? They didn't ask for the moon. One department said, we need another refrigerator because our lunches are smushed into the refrigerator and they make a mess. So if we had another refrigerator, we would be able to feel better about bringing our lunches. Such a small thing for a $1 billion company to do, provide another refrigerator. So it's amazing when you ask people and you listen to what they say, how can we create a better workplace? They have the answers, and I have many stories to prove it. When there's no trust because the leader of the company will say something and then not follow through. I was once asked to go to a region of this insurance company in Florida because they had a Christmas party and very few people attended. And what we found out was there was no trust, that he would say things and not follow through. So integrity was lost, and people didn't care about what was happening in the company. And when he realized that, because we had a big community meeting and people shared their withheld communication, and he was blown away by how people really saw him And he immediately changed, and that company soared from like number 15 of a region. In 18 months, they became number 4. It was amazing to see the absolutely measurable results that can happen in a company when people feel honored, respected, and even loved. You know, we shouldn't be afraid to use the word love, because we are hungry for loving one another. And work is a great place to share our love with one another.
It's like a hungry ghost.
Yes.
And, you know, so that's really incredible, because my big thing is, you know, to follow through with what you say, you know, and I really try even when I know that I might lose on something, you know, but I had already, you know, said that I was going to do it. So, and that's your integrity, like you said.
And sometimes, you know, we say things and then we can't follow through. So you communicate as soon as you know, because we don't want our integrity or commitment to be like a prison, that we said something and we have to do it even when something might have changed. But if we can communicate that and let someone know, you know, I thought I could be there at 10 o'clock, but that's not going to work now because of such and such. Can we renegotiate something? And it's just a matter of, you know, learning how to communicate what's real for us, you know, what's authentic for us. And not, we have to always, you know, if I said I was going to do it, I'm going to kill myself if I don't. You know, because that's not real integrity either.
A negotiation and communication.
Well, it's very important to know how to negotiate and how to make requests of one another. In one of the retreats that I did for the company I'm working with, we talked about how important it is to make powerful requests. So she turned to the employer and she said, I would like to work 3 days instead of 4 days. And they negotiated, and it was a win-win for both of them. But if we don't make requests of one another, then we are holding back really our power in a lot of ways. And so making requests and negotiating so that everybody wins, and it is possible to work through things so that everybody feels they're getting what they need.
You are incredible. Thank you so much. I know you got to eat lunch, and, you know, you're very powerful, and we can't wait to see you in San Diego. I got to tell you, I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you. This is very powerful, and this beautiful community building. And if someone wants to get in touch with you, what website should they use?
My company is called Access Greatness. So it's www.accessgreatness.com. And I'm Sophia. They can always email me at sophia@accessgreatness.com.
And she is great. Right here, Makeda, at the Natural Expo, Heirloom Expo. And it's incredible children, incredible people. And this is Sophie's one of the best. There's a lot of great things, but she is one of my greatest accomplishment at this expo. Thank you. And I'll see you in San Diego. No, I'll see you in Atlanta.
Reggae Makossa with Makeda Drag.
Burnt by the sun.
Yes, I am sitting in a botanical garden in Atlanta, Georgia with ChaCha, and we're doing forest bathing, taking in all the beautiful rays of the trees. And that's what you should do. Get outside and take in all the plants and all the minerals and watch sunsets. You need to get outside and just bathe in green. I hope you like the show. We were in Santa Rosa, and then we moved on to the National, let me say it right now, American Community Garden Expo here in Atlanta, Georgia. So this is Makeda Dread. I can't wait to see you, and please give me all the blessings and love you can so I can return home. The world's and nothing is promised in this iration, inshallah. So once again, I like to give thanks and praises to the Most High, Rastafari, ever living and ever, ever, ever faithful. And you got to know that, and ever true. Makeda Dread say so, Rastafari say so, ChaCha Yao says so, and Reggae Makossa say so. Dread out. Rastafari.
Yes, my lion. I show the eye. Sure. This program is wild. Reggae Makossa, man. You never take it in yet. I show the eye, man. If you listen, tune in to the station, Rasta.